Sup guys, welcome to the Journey to Grandmaster series, where I showcase and explain 3 games that I've played recently in my journey to becoming a Grandmaster. The first game I'm black, and my opponent starts off with e4, I play c6, he plays knight to f3, I play d5, the Caro-Kann, e takes d5, c takes d5, and d4, the exchange variation. I play knight to c6, he plays bishop to f4, bishop to f5, bishop to d3, attempting to trade off my light squared bishop, bishop takes d3, queen takes d3, and e6. And now, knight b to d2 is played, bishop to d6, attacking his dark squared bishop, knight to e5, because he doesn't want to trade it off. He doesn't want to trade his bishop off. Knight g2 e7. Just supporting this knight, so if knight takes, I'll have pressure on the d4 pawn. So knight g to e7, castles. And I play queen to c7, preparing to capture this knight, because 3 pieces are now attacking it, and only 2 defenders. So I will win the trade. He plays bishop to c3, a bad move because now I win a pawn. Knight takes e5, d takes e5, bishop takes e5, bishop takes e5, and queen takes e5. Here he should have played something like b5 check, attempting to pick up the pawn here, potentially. But instead, he plays knight to f3, attacking my queen. I play queen to c7, stopping any queen to b5 checks, because if queen to b5, knight to c6, and I'm totally fine here. So instead of queen to b5 check, he plays rook f to e1. I play a6, queen to d4, castles, and queen to h4. His goal here is to try to get his knight to g5 and try to checkmate me. And seeing that I play h6, completely stopping any knight to g5 shenanigans. He plays rook to e3, and the goal behind this move is to potentially get his rook to h3 and try to checkmate me, but he just walked into a fork. So knight to f5, I'm attacking his rook and his queen. And he plays queen to h5. I take his rook on e3, knight takes e3, f takes e3, and queen to b6, attacking the weak e3 pawn and the weak b2 pawn, because they're both hanging. He cannot protect both of them, and he plays knight to e5, putting pressure on the f7 pawn, and I play queen takes e3 check. He plays king to h1, I play queen to f2, stopping any potential threats on f7 and attacking the b2 pawn. And b4 is played because he saw the b2 pawn was hanging. And I play rook a to c8, attacking his weak c3 pawn. He plays knight to d7, attacking my rook on f8. So rook f to d8, attacking his knight on d7. Goes back to e5. I actually calculated this would have been a better move. And then something like b6, and knight takes, and then c3. But instead he goes back to attacking my f7 pawn on e5. Rook takes c3 anyways, because there's no threat, the queen is protecting it. And here, I remember, I was thinking there's no way he's going to sacrifice his queen on f7. And just as I thought that, he sacrificed his queen on f7, so queen takes, knight takes, king takes, and rook to f1 check. I go to g6, getting my king up, because these pawns will be rolling up, and I kind of want my king to support it. And he plays pawn to oh, whoa, sorry, yeah. He plays h4, d4. The point of d4 is to promote to a queen. King to h2, d3. He goes into a discovered check, but I missed it. I play h5, stopping any h4. g4. I play d2 with a discovered check, h2. Is played king to h2, h takes g4, rook to g1, king to h5, rook to d1, preventing the pawn from promoting, but it's too late. Rook to c1 is played. Rook takes c1, d takes c1, queen, g3, and checkmate. The second match I have, this one I was not proud of because I won due to a trap. And it starts off with a d4, b6, bishop to f4, the London system, bishop to b7, e3, e6, knight to f3, and f5 is played. I thought this was a very weird move. c4 is played, and knight to f6, knight to c3, pretty solid. He plays bishop to b4, which isn't really a bad move, but I personally think if you play like a pinning move in the London, you basically lose, because I usually never lose games where the bishop pins the knight in this situation. So rook to c1 is played, best move, castles, a3, attacking the bishop, bishop takes c3, rook takes c3, knight to e4, attacking the rook, rook back to c1, and knight to c6 is played, which is a bad move because it allows d5, and this bishop is blocked, not having any pressure on the diagonal right now. E takes d5, c takes d5, knight to e7, and here, this is where I start falling apart. So I actually calculated lines with rook takes c7, and I liked it, but for some reason I thought it didn't work, so I ended up playing the worst move, bishop takes c7, and I calculated, oh, I just have an outpost here with the bishop in the 7th rank. Queen to e8 because I was attacking the queen. d6 with the outpost, attacking the knight as well. And knight to c6, bishop to b5, attacking the d7 pawn. Knight to e5 is played, which is a bad move because the d7 pawn hangs. Knight takes c5, queen takes c5. And here, I calculated this, and I didn't like this position, but it's completely winning. But for some reason I didn't play it, because I wanted to protect this pawn. And this is where everything falls apart for me, so queen to c4 check is played, king to h8, and queen to c2 attempting to protect the b2 pawn, but it's actually a bad move because f4 is coming. He plays rook a to c8, giving me another chance to defend against f4, but I didn't take it. I actually saw f3 here, but I didn't like it for some reason, because I saw that this pawn was hanging, so I play rook to d1. He plays f4, I castle because I didn't really see any point in taking. And f takes e3. Here, I calculated this, and let's say rook takes f1 check, rook takes f1, and I would have been fine here. But I thought I found a better move, which is f3, but it wasn't a better move because he has an outpost on d2, and this outpost is very scary. And I was freaking out after I played f3 because I was like, I was like, he has an outpost on d2, I hope he doesn't see it. He doesn't see it. He actually goes to c5, which gives me another chance at life here. And I play b4. And here I actually calculated, well, it's played in the game, so I won't really show you, but another line here I hope he would go to is a6, which makes his knight a bit passive, but he is attacking my bishop with the outpost. But he goes to e6, and here I had 30 seconds left, and I calculated two lines here. Bishop takes e6, queen takes e6, and queen to e2. And I would have had to defend this position with 30 seconds left. But I also saw a trap here, And he actually falls for the trap. So bishop takes e6, pawn takes e6, and I calculated all of this. d7, and he takes my bishop, but I promote to a queen, threatening checkmate. Let's say rook takes, this is checkmate, right? Or let's say rook takes c2, my queen, it's checkmate. So he goes to f7 defending, and I go to d3, threatening checkmate again. And he plays bishop takes f3, completely forgetting I have checkmate threats, and he gets checkmated on h7. I won due to a trap, and I was not proud of this game because I had to win due to a trap. The third game is against a guy named Game Theory, and his name is so accurate because I got scared because he was actually playing Theory in this game. It was so scary. Like in my ELO, no one plays Theory, and he was actually playing Theory, so I thought he knew what he was doing here. So, the London system, the bishop to f5 variation, and all this is Theory here. Until c5. Here, I didn't see any point in taking or knight to f. I didn't see any point in these moves, so I just play bishop to e2, developing, potentially castling. And he plays a6, which makes b6 weaker. I calculated lines with knight to a4, and they did not work, so I did not play knight to a4. Instead I play a4, trying to go for a5 here, because let's say a5, he pushes down, and pawn takes, knight takes, attacking the queen, and I win a pawn. So, yeah, a4. And he actually blunders. He actually blunders 2 pawns here, and I saw this, and I go for queen takes b6, rook f to b8, and I take the pawn on c5, queen takes, pawn takes, and I'm up 2 pawns here. And he plays d takes c4. I was debating whether to do bishop takes c4, winning the pawn back, or going for knight to d4, an attempt to strengthen the c5 pawn and make it connected. So I go for d4 because I like that idea way better. Knight takes d4, he takes d4. Now I have 2 connected pawns, and one of them could be a passer in the future. Rook takes b4 before attacking my bishop, and bishop now takes c4 because I thought, why not? The bishop wasn't in trouble anyways, but he just had a pawn here. I wanted to take it. So he goes rook to d8, attacking my d4 pawn. I go knight to e2, defending the d4 pawn. And I actually predict, I was thinking, oh, if he goes v4, I'm actually chilling here because I have a nice outpost. And that's exactly what was played. He goes rook to b4. And which isn't a good move because everything I just said, bishop takes a6, rook takes a4, bishop to b7, and he actually attacks the knight here. And I thought, oh, so his goal here was he takes the knight and his rook takes on d4. But here I offered up my knight because if knight takes, I just win. Because I have a passed pawn, he cannot stop it, and he's gonna get checkmated. So I just play c6 and he surrenders because he realized he lost. Or he's losing. But he still has defending chances. It's not completely lost, but this is overwhelming for him, I guess. So yeah. If you liked this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and peace out.